Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fall. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me. Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
All things Randi at randyrhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
This is particularly sad, okay? He's a soft-handed man-child, this man. He's like a little toddler. He's like Scotty's little boy, who's only, not even 3 years old yet, who loves trucks and cranes and oh my God. And by the way, yesterday, just so you know, Donald Trump was at a petrochemical plant, and he was there on an official government visit, and he decided to break the law and campaign. Okay, that's small potatoes compared to the laws he's already broken, right? It's just and the conspiracy theories he spreads and the white supremacy that he emboldens and encourages. The man is he is so beneath this office. I can't. There are no words for how low. There is no bottom to him. You understand? There is no bottom to him. The more he's attacked, the more virulent he becomes. So look at him yesterday. Now, these poor people, I feel really bad for them. They're obviously hardworking, Joes and Janes, and they're forced to stand behind him. They are expressionless, by the way, while he rants and raves.
Getting this massive job done right has required more than 1,500 pieces of heavy equipment, one of the largest cranes anywhere in the world. I look forward to seeing it. I love cranes. I love trucks of all types. Even when I was a little boy at 4 years old, my mother would say, "You love trucks." I do. I always loved trucks. I still do. Nothing changes. Sometimes, you might become president, but nothing changes. I still love trucks, especially when I look at the largest crane in the world. That's very cool. Do you think I'll get to operate it? I don't know. We'll put the media on it, and I'll give them a little ride, right?
Oh, my God. The stank market. It is the stank market. It's stank today. Is crashing, okay? Everything is literally going to hell in a handbasket. You got violence all over this country because he's the president, and because he eggs people on, and because he encourages it, and because he says punch him in the face, and because he calls people who won't punch other people in the face weak, right? You got all this going on, and he decides to go yesterday to Pennsylvania and stand in front of a bunch of really hardworking people and talk about, I love trucks and I love cranes. You think maybe, and then they took him outside, okay? And they were showing him the freaking cranes. This is at a Shell oil plant. And they poured some concrete like the day before, knowing that they were going to have him out there so that he wouldn't have to step in wet gravel because it was raining. So they poured a little bit of concrete. I mean, anybody ever pour a little bit of concrete? It's just not that big of a freaking deal, okay? You mix the damn concrete, and then you pour it out, and then you smooth it, and you let it dry. And he's marveling at this technology, at this 21st century technology.
To show you the quality, so we were going to take a look at it from here. We were going to sit on this gravel, which is dusty. And Shell, they know how to do things. They built this beautiful concrete platform for us. We'll be here for 3 minutes, and they built this beautiful concrete. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be. Take a look at this, brand new, just poured, so that I wouldn't get my feet wet. That's very nice. But that's called
dusty?
quality. It's really called knowing your business and knowing what you're doing.
Look at the top of his head.
He's marveling at the 21st century, concrete pour. The guy is and the only reason why anybody would stick with him is because he is racist. I'm sorry. It is the only conclusion that can be drawn from the facts as we find them. The economy is crashing. The stock market is crashing. Farmers are on the dole. You better not be green card farmers, because if you're green card farmers, you're going to lose your visa, right? You'll lose you'll lose everything, because you are now primarily, well, it's not even primarily, they changed the definition. You are now accepting government money, right? These farmers who really don't want to do this are now accepting government welfare payments instead of enjoying the markets that they themselves built for their product, which they themselves grew. This man has screwed up every ability for anybody to be independent, for anybody to pursue the American dream, it's just, he has squished it. And the only thing that passes for conversation in this country when it comes to politics or the president or the elections upcoming is whether or not he'll leave. Is he a white supremacist or isn't he? How low will he go? Are we really in danger of a man who won't leave office? Are the elections going to be free and fair? How many bots are on the internet now promoting him? This is the sickest environment I've ever worked in. And I've seen lots of weird stuff. I mean, look, in the year 2000, I was a local broadcaster in Palm Beach County with the butterfly ballot. And I watched the Supreme Court hand an election to George W. Bush. Over what? 535 votes? They said please. I thought that was as low as America would go. I was wrong. Dan in Dallas.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
So I want to go back to the immigration thing and the green card.
Okay.
All right. So I got married 3 years ago. My husband is from Jordan, and this was a legal marriage. It was a legal green card. I signed a piece of paper. It's called a form 834, something like that. I am responsible for him for the next 10 years, 40 quarters. If he applies for any government assistance whatsoever, I am responsible for him. The government can come after me even if we get divorced. The only way that I'm released from that is if he dies, goes back to his country, or becomes a citizen.
Yeah, but now that form doesn't even matter. That's the sponsor form that you signed.
Right.
Okay, they don't even care about whether or not you signed that form. Now your husband has to sign a form showing that he makes 250% over the poverty limit. So it's about $41,000 a year. He has to show that he is self-supporting. The whole sponsor thing, it doesn't matter anymore. They have changed everything. It used to be immigration would ask, in a marriage situation for the spouse to sign, the American spouse to sign a piece of paper vouching for the fact that you could support your spouse completely independently. But now they've changed it so that your spouse, the green card holder, now has to demonstrate that they are individually making at least $41,000 a year, regardless of whether or not they're sponsored. So, but listen, here's the thing I want to tell you. It hasn't gone into effect yet. October 15th is the date. It's an executive order. He has absolutely no authority to execute on this. And there's already 2 lawsuits today to stop it from going into effect. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.